Let's get right into it. The topic today is about jealousy. And let's just really be upfront. Most of us, as people, we have emotions, we have feelings, and we've all experienced jealousy. That's something that a lot of people, a lot of us, we don't like to talk about, we don't like to admit. We are ashamed of it, or we have too much pride to admit that this is something that, we may feel or experience at times. So we just tend to push it down, to suppress it. And some people may struggle with it more than others. God is a jealous God, but his jealousy is righteous. It's not polluted with a sinful nature that us humans, in our jealousy, it's usually not coming from a right place. It's usually not coming from a pure place. God is jealous because he wants a relationship with you. He is the only God. He knows that you worshiping another God or putting another God before him is not conducive to what he wants for you. It's not conducive to the good things, the good plans that he has for you. So therefore, his jealousy in you turning away from him is a righteous jealousy. But the jealousy I'm talking about is just, it comes from an evil place. It doesn't come from a good place. And like I said, we all experience it, but could that jealousy be blocking your blessings? I mean, sometimes we look at all of these other reasons, these other things that could be blocking our blessings, but could jealousy be blocking your blessings? Could jealousy be holding God's hand back from what it is that he's trying to do? I mean, let's think about with Saul. He was disobedient. So ultimately, that is why God ripped him from the throne, even though he was technically still there. But he had already anointed David. Saul was still in the position, but it was through his disobedience. But if you notice, through his disobedience, it said that a spirit came upon him, and the spirit caused him to become jealous of David. And I don't think that spirit that came upon him was coming from a good place. If you notice, the jealousy that he had for David caused him to want to murder him, caused him to want to kill him, caused him to pursue him constantly, even though he knew. I think Saul deep down knew. Well, I mean, he's not that he deep down knew. He knew because God told him that, like, he's ripping him from his position. So he knew. So jealousy in itself, when we usually struggle with that emotion, it's not coming from a good place. God is not going to bless somebody that has this constant envious and jealous nature. And I don't mean the type, okay, you might feel the jealousy and then you repent, and you know what I mean, you don't act on these things. You take these emotions to God, and he helps you to deal with them. Like I said, some of us on a daily basis might have this emotion, but you're not allowing it to control you, to control your thoughts. When you start seeing people making decisions, like I've seen in certain positions and jobs where it may be an employee, and then you have a boss. And I've seen where you have somebody that's over you, that's a boss, that has more than you for whatever reason. It could be you're not even doing anything. You're not even doing really anything to this person. It's just the light that's in you. It's just a character that's in you that causes this person to be jealous of you, even though they're over you. They'll start making decisions, finding ways to write you up, finding ways to destroy your position, finding ways to just cause, emotional turmoil on this job for you. And they find pleasure in it just because, honestly, deep down, the problem is that they're jealous. And they can't really do fully what they really want to do, what really deep down they want to do, and that's to fully, sometimes, to destroy you. They have to do it in subtle ways, because when you're within a work environment, you have to stay within a box of things that you can do or not do. You have policies and laws that you have to stay within and abide by. But ultimately, they will figure out ways to do that and cause you all of these problems. And a lot of it is rooted in just pure jealousy. That's an ugly type of emotion. I mean, all of it's ugly, but when the jealousy that you deal with causes you to attack another person, or seek to destroy another person, or seek to do witchcraft on another person, or seek to take what another person has, or seek to verbally abuse another person to make them feel as small as you really feel, that is very evil. And I don't think a lot of people, I think most people don't deal with that sin, or don't deal with that area of their lives, because they don't want to face the fact of how evil and ugly it is. And when you face the fact of it, you're telling yourself, this is who I am. And most people don't want to look at who they are. They'll look at other sins, they'll look at other things, but I think this is one area that a lot of people struggle with facing. Therefore, it doesn't get resolved with a lot of people. It doesn't get resolved. And you will also see, even in the church, you'll see it and you'll experience it. And I think it's because people don't take it to God. Most people are not going to God and saying, God, I am struggling with jealousy. I am struggling with feeling jealousy amongst, other people, or, situations. They don't take it to God because they don't want to face it. Because facing it means it's true. And I think we think if we just ignore it, we just push it off, we just ignore it, then, it's not true. I'll deal with my anger, because, that's a sin too. I'll deal with my angry outbursts. Anger itself is not so much a sin as what you do within that anger, but it's the angry outbursts that become sinful, is what we do in that anger. But we'll deal with those things, because it's, we'll deal with our addictions. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with certain lifestyles that we may live. We'll deal with all of these other things, but jealousy is something that I don't hear a lot of people deal with. And I think that it is blocking a lot of our blessings. It is blocking us from actually moving forward in the things and in the purpose that God has for us. Because he's not going to continue. And I'm not going to say that there aren't people that are blessed, that are, that do these evil things, that, I'm not saying that. But I'm like, let's just be honest. When you have such a ugliness in your heart, it doesn't matter what you have, whatever material or financial gain or whatever status you have, that ugliness is still there. It's still there. If you're ugly on the inside, unfortunately, you're ugly on the outside, and it will seep into your relationships. It will seep into your marriage. It will seep into with your children. It will seep in the workplace. And I'm sorry, you're always going to have that ugly, nasty feeling on the inside. And I think most people that deeply struggle with this emotion. I mean, like, deeply. I don't think there's no happiness. I don't think that they're happy. It doesn't matter what they have. I just don't think that they're happy. And I think they cannot be happy because they cannot be happy for other people. They cannot look at other people and congratulate them. They cannot lift up other people. They will always find a reason to say, oh, well, this person doesn't deserve this, or I can do this better, or why does things, come so easy for this purpose, for this person, just you can't be happy if that's the way you think. If that's your mindset, if that's how you see people, you can't be happy. And like I said, I get it. Like, jealousy is a normal emotion. Even like my pets, they're innocent. They get jealous. Like, if I pet one more than the other one gets jealous. So I'm not saying like, oh, if you experience like jealousy, like you're this horrible person. It's just how you deal with it, how you handle it, how you operate with it. What are you doing with it? Is this something that you're, if you have that feeling overcome you? Sometimes if I experience that emotion, I may see somebody and that feeling overtakes me. Sometimes what I have to tell myself is, you know what? You sitting over here looking at this person, jealous of what they have or are what's going on with them, and you don't know the struggle. You don't know the struggle that they had to deal with or go through. You don't even know the struggle that they're dealing with behind closed doors right now. So you sitting up here looking at this person, being envious or jealous of them. You have no idea behind closed doors what they feel, what they're going through, what they had to go through to get what they have. You probably wouldn't even want to trade places with that person if you knew what they had to go through to even get to where they are to have what they have. So sometimes I have to tell myself that in order for me to understand. Let's redirect our energy, and let's not have that feeling. You know what I mean? So it's safe to say that this is something that I think you hear a lot about on YouTube, people being jealous of you. And it's true. A lot of people will be jealous of you. I experience it. But I don't think we talk about when we ourselves experience this emotion. And I'm not saying that maybe some people are like beyond that emotion, that, you know what I mean? Some people are, and that's a blessing. But I'm speaking for people that, sometimes you struggle with this. But there is a way out. There is a way out. And I think the first step is to admit it, identify it, and take it to God. And ask Him for ways that you can have a different outlook. You know what I mean? Redirect that energy or that mindset in a different way that will kind of turn you away from seeing people, situations, or things in that way. But understand that it's not that person didn't do nothing to you. Don't treat another person badly because of your jealousy. Don't do that, because they didn't do anything to you. When you start to genuinely congratulate people, genuinely start to uplift people, even when you feel that jealousy, when you feel it, over time, because you are doing it, and try to be, don't just do it, don't smile in somebody's face, you know what I mean, being fake. oh, you, good job, you know what I mean, and you really don't mean it, you know what I mean. Don't do that. I'm not saying to do that, but within yourself, sometimes, even if you don't say anything, just start to bless them. Start to bless them. Just start to bless them, because when you start to bless them, even though you have that feeling, you blessing them will start to change in the future as time goes on. That emotion of jealousy will become less and less because you're blessing them. It's the same as when, with unforgiveness. Sometimes they say pray for the person that you're angry at, or the person you have unforgiveness for. Pray for them. Bless them. You know what I mean? And then over time, your heart and heart will soften. It will soften towards. It doesn't mean you have to reconcile with this person, but you're not sitting around thinking how you can get revenge on them or evil thoughts towards them every time they pop into your mind. So it's the same thing with this whole jealousy emotion. Start to bless them. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, it's not necessarily that person, it's you. It's something within you that you have to deal with, and you have to figure out why. And I think blessing that person, wishing well for them, I think that's a good step. I think that's a good first step to start on. But ultimately, God can help you with this emotion. Take it to Him. Don't underestimate what He can do, but you also have to be able to first admit that this is an area that you need help in. And I think that's a good place to start. So that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. If you like what I'm talking about, please subscribe, and have a good day. Thank you.